These are the best highlights from the matchup between T1 and BLG during the quarterfinals of the 2024 Esports World Cup.
Go for a late invade towards Ona's jungle, and I don't think Ona has any idea what's going on here. We'll see that ward go down. Probably knows that something is up here as Elk and On moving into the Sejuani's jungle, and Ona is going to have to get out of there.
With Elk being up here, it's a lane swap, Atlas, that we're going to see here is On and Elk head topside. This is going to put Bin in utility position here to try to deny Ona the flash.
That's a big flash forward. A bit weird because Elk not there, but it doesn't actually matter. That's first blood going to On, taking matters into his own hands.
Owner in the jungle will just go straight over to his blue buff, and Ben decides to back and teleport to the bottom lane. As you can see, already some damage done to that turret by Guma and Keria, but the Kai'Sa isn't going to wreck turrets too quickly as whoa!
Yeah, Keria already taken a bit of damage here, but they're just going to claim themselves a kill as Bin possibly regretting the teleport option.
Yeah, well, that's a huge win here for T1 on the other side. So
I think that is still going to be the case for Zeus in this game, just because if he gets all outed, he then just has a very comfortable way of getting back out of the situation, as Extendo Beam is going to do a bit of damage here onto On. Grasping Roots not really connecting there as Faker gets rid of Knight from that mid lane. A bit quiet in the mid lane, as it were. Going to look like, as BLG look to take the first dragon of the game, looks to be uncontested here as well, as the Chemtech Drake is going to be taken down. So first one going to be a Chemtech, second one going to be a Cloud. So no Cloud Soul, I'm a bit sad about that, but that's fine. Don't get everything. There's a flash from Ona. Gets the flash out of Shun here as well, as Faker avoids the Strangle Thorns. Shun going to get rocketed in the face, and Faker is going to be able to grab that kill. Now T1 moving ahead in the kill score, and
trying to push out this top side, but Guma can clean that up. Zeus will match the Cassante push bottom side. I think Bin picked up a plate or two. Yes, he did. You can see it picture-in-picture there. Nice attempted steal by Elk, but he's in trouble.
Yeah, going to be able to Arcane Shift out as Ona just Arctic Assault away. So not wanting to greed for the final grub. And so that is going to be a pretty even trade between the two, as you can see at the top of the screen right there. 3 grubs apiece.
Crushing the lane, but he is winning Corki versus Tristana. Somewhat of a rarity in the LCK.
Ira caught in her jungle.
Point here for T1. If they give 2 dragons, that is potentially going to be a big problem if the soul is relevant with Chemtech already there. Big chance.
Yeah, Zeus once again going to be ulting. Ona moving on over as Bin's going to have to flash this time, but the Arctic Assault will still collect the knock up. And Bin, nowhere to go, no chance. And Zeus, he gets another one. And Wolf, are we getting towards certification territory?
Yeah, I think I'm ready to stamp it. I mean, 2 kills to this area in the top lane. And it's a bit of a puzzling choice. I mean, Bin just greeting super hard for plates there, sticks around. They have no control over the Dragon Pit. Now they have even less, as there's wards everywhere. As they're going to try to make a topside cross map here onto Faker. He's got Flash and Valkyrie.
Yep, Depth Charge going to start this dive up. It's a fantastic Valkyrie to get Faker out of the way, but I don't know whether he's going to survive this one. There's the Stranglethorns, and there is the kill. The sacrifice from Shun. Is that an execute, or was that actually a kill? I didn't actually see it. My brain didn't process it.
I think it was a kill.
1 and 0, so I think it was a kill. So yeah, just a 1-for-1.
100 to his name.
I've seen this one before, Wolf.
And the value isn't as, okay, Bin pushing up, man.
We're dashing over the wall here is Zeus. Gumushi going to come down as well. There are too many 80 carries in this game. The Rift Herald will be taken here by BLG, but they'll have to sacrifice Bin for it. Zeus taking a fair bit of damage, but is ultimately on a killing spree at the end of it. So Rift Herald collected here by Shun. We'll see whether Bin's sacrifice is going to be in vain or not as they get to work on the top side of the map.
Zeus should be able to finish off this turret. I mean, the first of the game before that Herald gets dropped. I mean, they have a 3 grub answer in return, but with Keria here, setting up a dive is going to be so tricky. They don't even commit to it. Is trying to find Ona or anybody here, but they're already caught.
Yeah, Glacier Prison comes down, and once again, Shun's just going to explode. No way out, and they are picking on this extremely squishy side. Will go down. So Faker and Keria getting themselves some plate gold, some turret gold here towards the top side. As BLG once again roaming up, but perhaps a little bit too late here as Keria is going to get missed by the hook, but still, they are going to get there. The Eclipse is eating a fair bit of this, but still, Shun is going to be able to grab the kill onto the Leona. And BLG answering back, trying to take whatever they can here on the Rift that is left for them. Bin taking some damage from Zeus once again, but he's just going to dash himself away. Doesn't want to mess with this area at all.
Finally, the Herald maybe going to get something done here in mid lane. Still a pretty healthy turret. We'll see how much they can take out. They're all grouped
Yeah, that is going to be a bit of an interruption here as Shun is able to land the grasping roots onto Owner. He's going to flash, gets himself out of there as Faker teleporting right into the thick of things. Zeus has turned up as well, and Faker kind of frontlining on this one, taking Mystic shots. True Shot Barrage is going to get flashed by Faker, and that is a good amount of respect. That thing does so much damage.
Great usage of the hair. BLG will be able to take this one away. A great play. And it's all set up. Oh,
whoa, that's a flash. Gumayusi going to have to flash in response as well as Keria just a little bit late to the play, and that is going to be out of turret in mid lane as well as that dragon. And BLG fighting back brilliantly, also getting some space here on the bottom side, and it feels like the tempo has shifted so quickly in favor of BLG off the back of that Herald.
The Observer showcasing how little vision there is here for T1. Even the Ezreal ult is significant poke here.
Oh yeah.
And Elk is just kind of playing with his range advantage right now. Zeri, fairly low range, obviously, outside of her extendo beam, but Elk can continue to push these waves through. And T1 just aren't able to skirt around. And this buys enough time now for the Dragon start for BLG. So Tristana, another power of Tristana, she can do Dragons very quickly with this Zyra. T1 will clear vision, but they don't have the speed to trade this. So they're unfortunately just going to have to give the Dragon up. But it's just been mid-prio that T1 has been so far behind on. You can really feel the weight of the lack of teleport here for Zeus in this game.
No, I agree. I actually think that it's starting to become a little bit of a worry. The apprehension that you're sensing here for T1.
T1 are in a great position. 3 items there, but we're just not having a straight up 5v5 fight. BLG are not allowing it.
Yeah, Owner now possibly out of position. Does have Keria there, but there's no real damage follow-up unless they can create some plasma here for Gumayusi to react to. There is a snare, and the Void Seeker not going to connect. Hook as the re-engage does come in. Glacial Prison is decent, but the shutdown onto Zeus immediately, and BLG, they might use this to start off the Baron. At least Elk, that's what he's decided he wants to do. Still, Void Seeker is going to make it seem like it may not be the best decision to make, and BLG looking for a turn instead. More poke coming through here as the more you hit, the more you can throw. Gumayusi still just firing.
Continuing to control this mid lane, out-pushing the Kai'Sa consistently as he just offers more and more poke. Even with True Shot Barrage, you can see these Qs really stacking up.
Yeah, well, another Glacial Prison goes down here as Faker just going to grab that kill onto On, and as we praise him, we caster curse him. And he is going to be taken out there. So one killed on the side of T1 into one killed on the side of BLG. BLG weren't able to push Drake. You know, not the end of the world. T1, they cannot afford to. Giving away 3 Infernals and Soul is just kind of ridiculous. As T1, you can see, positioned to try and take this one down, and they're going to be fighting for the death for this one. As let's see who's going to be able to take it here. Shun taking some poke damage, and these Void Seekers also starting to do a fair bit as well. The rotation around from the Zeri, but the Dragon is down very, very low. There's a Killer Instinct. They take down the Jungler, but can they win the fight is the question. That's the Dragon secured for T1. Keria is just taking Bin for a ride, and the rest of BLG are just melting. Now the top lane is going to do battle. Yeah, Bin's going to win those as he walks into melee range of the Cassante. Still, it's going to be a one-team fight, and still T1 are going to the first target here for T1. There's an inner on the top side of the map as well, but to really open up the map, it has to be through mid.
It does have to be through mid.
Yeah, we'll be taking down some of these wards around the map. Shun gonna get slowed down. There's a Glacial Prison as well. Special delivery of Gumayusi with the Killer Instinct, and there goes the Zyra. Massive tanking being done here by Keria, but can't tank absolutely everything in the kitchen sink. And so he will go down, but jungler for support, you take those, especially if you get a turret along with it.
Absolutely, and that's just going to allow Zeus to push this top lane. One single pick, again on the jungler, 6 deaths on this squishy Zyra.
And after such an incredible early game as well, as Bin is going to find the knockback onto Owner, but skating on in is Zeus. Bin now just going to have to book it out of there. On in so much trouble, walking the wrong direction. Owner going to finish him off. And T1, they're starting to knock them down now, starting to get a feel for how this game is moving closer and closer to a victory for them. And they'll push this wave towards the inner turret and really expose BLG's side of the map now.
Yeah, we'll see if they can actually grab this inhibitor with the last 30 seconds of the Baron. They really want this.
Yep, Solar going to set up for the Zenith Blade. It's a decent Stranglethorns, but he's still going to go down. The follow-up just not going to be there. Another Glacial Prison, great buffer there from the Tristana, but Knight not able to offer any damage back, and that's going to be base broken by T1.
I think they want more.
Yeah, they ain't stopping here. There is still 15 seconds on this Baron buff. They're going to take at least one of these Nexus turrets as the minions are starting to run out. G sitting here on their Nexus. And T1 still trying to push forward. Keria, not sure about that one, but I like the gusto. Has been in a whole host of trouble. Faker taking matters into his own hands, but not enough damage to kill the Cassante just yet. Turret shots just raining down as Elk landing these pot shots and starting to make these health bars look a little bit lower.
Oh, the teleport flank from Bin.
Big old flank from Bin as he dives in towards Ona. I don't think Ona's too worried. The all-out does come through. If they kill the Sejuani, it may not necessarily be end of the world. 53 seconds.
Active to trade for, but it looks like with no prio, no teleport on Faker, they're just going to opt to give this up. And I can't blame them for the choice. They have mid control with the inhibitor down. They can maybe grab a second one. That's the goal here if they can get it down quickly enough. But I think trying to walk head first into that BLG composition without prio was just not going to be a successful strategy. They won't get this inhibitor binged. Here we go.
Extendo beam not quite going to land there. Neither is the Glacial Prison as BLG able to get themselves out of there. Bin at about 50% health, but he's the tank. He's not too worried. Solar Flare also not exactly hitting the sweet spot as Shun able to walk that one off as well. Still T1 winning in the damage trades.
Yep, you can hit every single Void Seeker onto squishy targets like Shun. I mean, this is going to really start to stack up. Corky Poke, not as strong as it used to be, but still relevant here as T1, I mean, the weight of the wallets, you can really feel it. Shun just trying to back away, get some heal.
Time around, and T1, it's another team fight, and this one could be the end of the game.
Looks likely that T1 to win the first game of the World Cup.
That's a big old flash forward as Knight's going to get slowed down. There's the Glacial Prison. Set him up, and you knock him down. Keria and Ona with some great initiation in this game, and there goes the first Nexus of the EWC League of Legends. T1 going to claim it, and BLG going to need to win the next one to stay in it.
What a game to start it off. Top Zeri.
Exactly how well he pilots this champion.
My concern with the Camille pick in this draft, though, is going to be the Maokai. The ability to lock this Camille.
And scaling's a really fun conversation to have in this game. Because
absolutely.
There's Senna who scales to infinity. We know that, right? Faker's going to draw beads, utilizing his passive on the Tristana. We mentioned the Tristana scaling a lot. It's going to have to hold that thought for a moment. The Mega Inferno Bomb comes down as Gumayushi in so much trouble. The Nature's Grasp comes in, but that is going to be the first blood going over to Elk on his Ziggs. On gets that shield back as well as the flash from Keria. Needs another auto and he will not find it. And now Elk at full health should be able to take down the tree. And there he goes. 2 for nothing.
But now it's getting a little bloodier, and BLG take a 1K gold lead off the play.
Yeah, that is absolutely massive. And maybe that conversation about scaling is less and less relevant as Zeus thought he was in a 1v1. He is absolutely not as the World Ender comes in. Ona is here to try and help out. Let's see whether he can keep himself alive. But the answer is no. There is so much damage, especially coming out of this brand. And BLG will egg or two here as he is looking to run away. Spear not going to connect. Nice sidestep there from Elk, but still the swipe damage is decent. As Owner is going to heal himself back up. As another ulti out of On as he moves towards this topside. Bin can throw down the Hextech ultimatum. And now Zeus nowhere to go. Finds the sweet spot. It was decent. Worldender is doing a fair bit of work, but On still able to tank that turret shot, and he will be A-OK. Meanwhile, here on the bottom side, Shun is going to be punished. Owner almost taken down there. The brand passive is so dangerous, but he's still going to be able to take this. Of course, Ziggs, he is always going to win those. And now
he's so ahead.
Looking for even more. So this inner turret is now under fire. Keria dealing with the minions. No, there is one melee minion still left alive. And Bin is able to grab that kill. And they can keep pushing.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I feel like Keria's ult was just coming back online. I don't know if it really would have saved him, but it might have been able to buy some additional time. But T1 are just going to trade it for topside here. But it is going to be 2 turrets for 1. BLG with a massive gold lead, an insanely fed Ziggs, a brand that's about to finish his jungle item, or rather his pet, already picked up the Leandries early, has been clearing like a madman. Yes, Uner has cleared more minions, has been able to clear more of the jungle. But in terms of the impact here, it's definitely been Shun who's been the bigger winner here. So BLG completely in the driver's seat. Now T1 will get beyond just that top turret, the Herald topside objective that comes with this.
Yep, they will be able to take that one down as On just moving on in here. He's going to get pulled back, but Knight is there for the defense. Gumayushi towards the inner turret that BLG now has to attend to. But this is such a long lane that Zeus is in right now. They get a glimpse of vision As Hook is going to connect there onto the Nidalee, and she'll just explode. It's a gank squad from BLG. And now Zeus, he knows that it's his number up next. Shun going to be the one to throw that pillar of flame in. Will get knocked up as Worldender comes down. 1 versus 3 is going to turn into a 1 versus 4 very quickly. And as soon as the stun comes in, that is it for Zeus. BLG.
Right now, this Drake spawns in 30 seconds. I just see no way T1 can contest this.
Well, Carrier might also be in trouble here as the Hook is going to land once again. Nature's Grasp comes down. They're going to look for the re-engages on. Possibly overextended and indeed will go down. T1 grabbing themselves a pick. That could be huge with the Dragon coming up.
Yeah.
The BLG are still trying to get as much time as they can. I don't know whether it gets better by doing that. I think giving up this Dragon is something that they have to do. But they might have to give up the next one as well. And yes, they managed to beat BLG with an
opportunity. Absolutely can pop off and get resets in a team fight, but the oppressive vision control is hard to circumvent. Now, T1 are just going to do the Hail Mary Baron because they got to pull BLG to them somehow because BLG is playing back and playing safe.
Yeah.
Bin does have TP.
He does have TP, but he's just continuing to walk. They just trust that they'll be able to get them off this Baron without actually using the teleport. You can see now he's in the minion wave. He's on vision. T1 going to try and keep this leash. Just a flash forward from Carrier. Gets the flash out from Shun. Just trying to keep himself in there. Into the pit goes Zeus. Carrier goes down. There is the Baron secured. But can they actually keep themselves alive as Faker is just going to get thrown around like a ragdoll? There is the takedown onto Bin, though, who tries to get it. It's a double kill for Knight. Some redemption for the mid laner here as Zeus and Ona walking the wrong direction, trying to get themselves over these walls and into safety. They have the Baron, but how many will be able to keep it and tell the tale is the question.
Looks like just Owner.
Zeus, there's a few too many bad guys around him at this point in time, so Owner killed the Baron, and he's the only one that gets to keep it.
But it's a great ultimate there from Bin as well.
Oh,
another fight.
The Hook comes in from on. Hex Flash was utilized as everyone used their flash in that last fight. There is not a lot of summoner spells left available as a Hex Tech Minefield. They just can't walk through it, and T1 are going to give the Infernal Soul again. Mega Inferno Bomb not going to be avoided, but at least Gumiushi didn't stand in the middle of it. Still takes massive amounts of damage.
Has a Baron buff. They don't, but going to force Zeus to TP.
Oh, that's a big TP flank here from Zeus. Let's see what they can actually do. Remember, they're fighting into an Infernal Soul. So, yes, it's a gold lead, but it's even more than that. With the Infernal Soul available, now Nature's Grasp coming in. Can they actually line them up, find some of these snares? There's the triple root from the mouth. Boom goes the dynamite. Down goes Knight as Faker rocket jumps his way to safety. Bin going to be eviscerated immediately as the Mega Inferno Bomb goes to Narnia, and that's not going to kill anyone. It's a spear connecting for the double. As Shun, he's still alive, and as it turns out, he's actually enough damage, kind of by himself. At least with Elk there as well, raining down these bouncing bombs. As T1, I think they won that fight, but it doesn't feel like a lot of control.
It doesn't feel like a lot of control. Gold lead still 3,000. Faker?
Oh yeah, still gonna go for it here as Shun wants to be able to land the abilities, and he does so. Ona gonna get slowed down as the minefield comes in, and that Baron control in a nutshell here for BLG, and I don't think that T1 even is allowed to approach the area. Teleport to come forward here as Knight cleared out that bottom lane. And this Baron, uncontested this time around, BLG will be able to take it, and then they can use the extra push. Not really taking too many risks at this point in time. T1 with a lot of healing, actually. Piercing Darkness and Primal Surge together. And now Nature's Grasp is going to come on through. Zeus wanting to find those knockups, but the push away is just too strong. Carrier still getting into that backline, and so is Zeus, in fact. But Bin's going to turn up, and now Zeus is in trouble. Knight is able to take him down. Carrier delivering Bin into the backline. May not be exactly what he wanted, and somehow he finds the wall with that hook shot. This should just be the wipe, and BLG will even out the series as Faker is flashing to try and get out of the way, but the Anchor of Destiny from On will be able to pick him out of the air. That's the ace, and BLG will even out the series.
Looks like we're going to that game 3 we all wanted, Atlas. Beautiful satchel charge from Elk and Bin. That team fight was almost perfect. They don't even have to take the Elder to take this one. BLG striking back in a much cleaner, more one-sided game than our first. And we're going to the conclusive game 3 after this. What a way to start off the first Esports World Cup presenting League of Legends, Atlas. And we saw the Ziggs get accelerated. It was 45. I think that their current form, even though they had that shaky loss domestically to KT Rolster right before flying over, I thought, okay, BLG looking a little bit rough. It is going to be the grubs that do go over to BLG. On and Shun are going to be able to take all three of these for a Jax, who's now proxying, as he was able to get a ton of prio up their top side. Feels fantastic. As Owner is going to come over here and shadow Faker.
Yeah, there's the grand entrance. Faker gets out of it as the Grasping Roots connect on to on, but it's not going to do too much. Got to stop saying on to on, Wolf. That's it's a difficult one. As now, a little bit of a look towards the Dragon as the Flash Cosmic Binding's going to connect. Gumayushi trying to hold him in place, and now the curtains have been called. Shun going to get slowed down there as On. He's his big target. Fourth bullet is going to connect as the arrow sails by. It looks fantastic, doesn't do a whole lot. As T1 also not able to grab their prize as well, but they'll get themselves a Rift Scuttler, and that's at least something.
Crazy no flashes used from BLG despite Carrier looking for the play.
Perpetually in both the LCK and the LPL. We haven't necessarily seen it have ridiculous performances, as, speaking of which, now it's Zeus that could be in trouble. Gets the double hop as Shun still looking for it. Gets the smite off. And still, Zeus gonna have to flash to get out of the way. All right, they're going for a dive. They're gonna be able to get that first blood, and Bin was capable of tanking up the turret, and if in doubt, just brute force it, Wolf.
I mean, classic Bin Shun. But he's also massively ahead in farm, even into a Zyra. And they ended up knocking Zeus out. His flash back available now, but man, the game state here is rough.
Ooh, that's a big old arrow flying towards Carrier, and that will land. Knight is able to get over the wall as well. Shun's able to take down the Bard, and Ona has to flash to get himself out of the way. Elk, man.
Lane advantage is really starting to stack up, as meanwhile up on the top side.
Yeah, Tempered Fate does come on down. Good Cosmic Binding there to connect onto On, who's taking a lot of damage. Elk still offering a lot back as well, as T1 do defend their outer turret and those underneath it. At the same time, Zeus does have Mega Gnar on the way, so he's feeling a little bit more frisky, able to get up towards this lane. But it feels like T1 a lot of answering and not a lot of dictating here in this game.
Shun also happily just taking these grubs in return, backs off of the top side play and says, well, we were playing for these anyways. That's going to be 6 grubs for the Jax. That's so deadly in a side.
Yeah.
Guma was able to pick up 1 plate bottom side. That's all T1 were able to. Collector start here for Guma. Does have some really nice finishing power if they can set up the CC. There it is.
Grasping Roots comes down. That is a lot of damage onto the Nidalee, who pounces over the wall. Primal Surge gets that health bar back up again here for Shun. And T1 not able to lock him down completely, as Faker going in, looking for Knight, who gets into the brush very nicely, and the Gatling gun really working out. Buster Shot going to be used, and there's the flash forward. It's just too easy here for the golden left hand, and the turret going to go down as well. Icing on the cake for BLG.
Clearly no mouse issues there. Faker making a missed call. And
Gumayushi also able to play with the Fog of War, but the ward goes into the brush. Now On looking to come in. Now the curtains have been called. Can they actually lock down any kills here? As the Tempered Fate goes wide, the plants also not really helping out. As now On kind of looking to turn it here by the looks of things. T1 looking a little frazzled here in game number 3.
I mean, so desperate here in this final game. Good footwork. His ability to crush turrets, his ability to follow up on CC.
And that's been halved as well. It was to the tune of about 20 CS. Now that is starting to evaporate, and now Zeus is under fire. On is going to get over that wall, finds the hop. Grand Entrance doesn't quite get in there, but the quickness is still going to charm him, and there is the counter-strike. Bin going to be able to take down his opposite number. 1-0-1 now on the Jax, and that would follow up onto that one as now T1 cut their losses, move back into their jungle. And Carrier actually looking for Elk here. Tempered Fate is going to...
They just have 2 kills to Guma. The snipe coming out. We're not done yet.
Oh,
Shun.
Carrier finds a meep slap as Shun, he has to flash. Deadly Flourish, too scary, coming through the floor. And T1, they're going to augment this with an outer turret take as well.
Suddenly the map is all opened up. Kill control. Faker.
Yeah, there's another charge as the inner turret just barely survives. Faker, though, like you say, in trouble. Able to get a few autos. On down to 50%, but Faker holding onto that rocket jump. See whether he's going to be able to utilize it. Tempered Fate not going to find the mark. Neither does the Cosmic Binding.
Zeus back with Narbar too. BLG need to be very careful about how they approach this.
Yeah. Zeus definitely going to be turning Mega here, so BLG could just bide their time, but it looks like they want to start this one up with that control of the area that they do have. Naba down to 50%. T1 going to have to pull that trigger relatively soon as Spears not quite connecting onto that Gnar. And you can see BLG, they're not wanting to do anything until there's a mini Gnar once again. And now it comes through. The Dragon going to be picked up. On in actually a lot of trouble as the curtains have been called. On just going to be sniped. No one was there to protect him. And now Elk is going to get slowed down. Shun is here with the rest of the team, but Bin is nowhere in sight. Everyone's a squishy, and there's a deadly flourish in Italy. Now the teleport's coming in. Bin's going to be able to join the other three. The BLG are getting closed in on, and this is not their side.
It comes through from Bin. He wasn't there. So measured. And Gumayusi doing the big damage. He went from irrelevant to 305 on this 2-item spike, and now they're going to get Baron. They take a gold lead for the first time in this final game. Zayas in a side, and T1, a huge comeback here in this final game. This is a BLG. This game was completely theirs, but it is very quickly T1 favored now.
Oh, Cosmic Binding not going to quite land as the Tempest. Don't get angry at Elk, but he is still running the wrong direction. And I think this hunting party from T1 will be able to take down their prize. Unless, well, Magical Journey does come on through. Volley from the brush gives away his position, and Elk is buying a lot of time.
They're not losing any time here in the mid lane, though. T1 just pushing it down right away, just taking this inhibitor. Elk buying a lot of time.
Yeah, Grasping Root's going to be there, and Ona gets the kill.
I mean, it's just going to delay his respawn ultimately here because T1's still going to grab this inhibitor. There's no Baron to take, so they don't delay anything like that. As On's looking for a punish here, but T1 super measured in their approach to this inhibitor. Take it down, back away. Topside control is theirs. And once again, a beautiful...
last-ditch effort as the arrow is going to sail through T1. Opportunistic plays is exactly what BLG are going to be looking for, as Zayas doesn't want to wait for that. Curtains are going to happen as the double kill comes in, as the Stranglethorns come down. There is the ace, and T1 will keep themselves alive here at EWC. And unfortunately, I think it's going to be hydraulic press for them.
T1 in a 30-minute game, an impressive comeback here, and the one that matters the most, keeping their hopes alive in this tournament. They didn't make it easy. That certainly did not give the fans hope in the early part of this third game. Game 2 was rough. Game 1, they almost lost control, but what a fantastic series to start off EWC's.
These were some of the best highlights from the 2024 Esports World Cup quarterfinals matchup between T1 and BLG. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.